Hey guys. So we've all been talking about the whole CM Punk situation and what's going to be happening, and apparently more reports have come out that CM Punk is, and this is courtesy of Sports Illustrated, who talked to sources close to Punk, as well as sources close to AEW, but mostly to Punk, that he is going to release a statement soon, and that the statement he's going to release in regards of him being fired is basically borderline, going to be explosive. In other words, it's like duck and cover, if you're Tony Khan in AEW. Because, we all know Punk. We all know Phil Brooks. When he gets in a mood, no one's safe. No one is safe from his wrath. And I can guarantee you, if all the reports are true to some extent, of him not liking being there, of him telling Tony Khan he hates this place, he quits, lunging at Tony Khan, being easily set off just by remarks, by Jack Perry, and even the elite, if you will, or them coming to confront him. And it's like, basically, if all of that is true, including the fact that he didn't want anybody on Collision that was close to the elite, but like Ryan Namath or even Christopher Daniels, who's the head of talent relations, if all that is true to some extent, I can definitely tell you that what we're going to get from Punk, regarding his side of things when it comes to being fired from AEW. Like I said, all I can say in advice to someone like Tony Khan and AEW in general, duck and cover, because you're probably going to get hit not with a pipe bomb, but with a nuclear bomb. And, and that I could tell you right there will be very telling. Now, a lot of people have discussed the fact that maybe he's not going to really, nuke the company or Tony Khan, and maybe he'll be thankful and just, explain, hey, I just, didn't trust certain people, or I thought I was lied to by certain people, and, because others were connected to these people, I just felt that I couldn't trust them. Maybe he'll just say that. We don't know. We don't know. But all I can say is all eyes and ears are going to be on that moment when he comes out with the statement. Now, maybe he'll be advised by his wife, AJ Lee, to, be very, I guess you could say, diplomatic about it. In other words, don't be so nuclear, in his, explain his side of things, and, just be calm and respectful. Thank them for the opportunity to come back to do what you love, but also explain in a way that doesn't really, burn bridges, if you will, entirely. You just explain in a way that you had trust issues because you felt you were lied to. And I've got a feeling that's what, part of what Punk might, bring up, that, he was invited by the elite to be part of AEW. But then, as he became part of it, he started to realize that maybe he was, conned, to coin a phrase, into joining, and that he was lied to. That he was promised all these things, and, he got some of that, but not all of it. So, so again, I think him pointing out the fact that he was lied to is going to be one of the major issues addressed, if you will, one of the major issues addressed when it comes to his retaliation. I wouldn't say retaliation, but his response to being fired. So I've got a feeling lying and trust are going to be topics that he's going to bring up, in his response. Like I said, being lied to, and, because of being lied to, he had these trust factors, kind of go into that as well. So, so I could see him, kind of bringing all that into the response. Now, Do I see him, if he really wants to let loose, do I see him backing up what some people have claimed about Tony Khan, that Tony Khan is nothing more than a fan acting like a boss, and that now all of a sudden it took CM Punk doing what he did, doing what he did to Jack Perry and others for Tony Khan to finally grow a set? Is he going to come out and maybe talk about that? Maybe, we'll see. We don't know. We don't really know yet, but all I could say is, like I mentioned, all I could say is all eyes and ears are going to be on CM Punk's response. It's going to be on his response. They're going to, basically want to listen and digest what he says. And for those that talk about wrestling here on YouTube and on podcasts and everything, like Alex Hicks, JD, Solomonster, OTRS Central, Good Mic Work, Brian Zane. I guarantee you a lot of them, after this moment happens, are going to be on YouTube, on their podcast, and they're going to, like I said, they're going to take what Punk said, digest it, dissect it, and in their own opinions, give their thoughts, on what he had to say, and, try to kind of understand from his point of view as to why he did what he did. So, I could definitely tell you this is going to be something people are going to have their eyes and ears, eyes and ears ready to hear and listen, to read, hear and listen to, and then at the end of the day, digest, what he said and give their own thoughts on it. But, again, we don't know what his response is going to be like. It could be a thank you to Tony Khan. It could be a thank you and, for the opportunity, and I apologize for things not working out the way we would hope for, It could be that, it could be, something of that extent, but him also coming out and him also coming out and kind of explaining that the reason he did act the way he did, even though he probably didn't want to, was because he felt he was lied to. Because he felt he was being lied to, he ended up having trust issues. Maybe that's going to be something. We don't know. Maybe he's going to point out that people he thought were being real with him are nothing more than phonies. They're nothing more than phonies, and because he saw through them, that pretty much aggravated or accelerated, his trust issues, and basically his, theory and paranoia of being lied to. That might be something as well. He might even bring up Tony Khan hugging people. We don't know. He might even say that the moment Tony Khan hugged him, the way he's hugged a lot of other talent that he signed on to AEW, maybe that moment there is when CM Punk kind of woke up and realized, maybe this wasn't the best idea. Because experiencing it himself and then seeing it with his own eyes, maybe Phil felt like, this is too creepy. This guy feels like, when he hugs you, he doesn't want to let go. His hugging feels like, someone that's being possessive, stuff like that. So, he might bring that up. We don't know. We don't know just yet, but again, like I said, it's going to be really interesting to hear what he has to say, because either it'll be a response that will surprise us and be more, calm, more respectful, more neutral maybe, but more neutral maybe and all that, but not hiding anything, when it comes to his dissatisfaction with the company. Maybe it might be that kind of a response, or maybe it will be a nuclear one. And my honest thoughts, if I was a betting man, it's going to be nuclear, especially if Sports Illustrated is saying that those close to Punk are pretty much saying that when he responds, it's going to be explosive, because that's how Punk's always been known. I mean, everybody has said he lets the tiniest things, like what Jack Perry said about Glass, and that little response he did during his match with Hook at the All In Zero Hour. You know, everybody says he lets these little things, get to him, and when he lets these little things get to him, when he could just easily brush it off, he takes it too far in retaliating or responding. He takes it up a notch, maybe by 100, more or less. But again, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens when he does make that response. Like I said, all eyes and ears are going to be on the ready, to hear and read what he has to say and watch what he has to say and then digest what he said and come up with their own theories and speculations and thoughts and opinions, from what he said, and try to see maybe if, coming from his point of view, perhaps, he was in the right more so than he was in the wrong. We'll have to see. But if what Sports Illustrated is saying is true, talking to those close to Punk, then all I could say, like I mentioned at the beginning, is Tony Khan, AEW, you better duck and cover. Because if you thought CM Punk's pipe bomb on WWE over a decade, ago got people talking and helped change the landscape of the business a bit, this one is going to make that pipe bomb look, it's going to make that pipe bomb look like a fart in comparison. Because this one will basically be like a nuclear bomb being dropped, on Hiroshima, and I say that with all due respect, no offense. But that's what it's going to be like. AEW is going to be the wrestling equivalent of Hiroshima, if what people are saying how Punk's response is going to be like. So again, all I can say is Tony Khan, AEW, be ready. Because you guys are going to be in for a huge, nuclear drop that you may not, reputation-wise, may not recover from. Because, again, this is going to give people an opportunity after it's all said and done to see whether or not Punk was in the right or if he was in the wrong. But give me your thoughts, guys. Let me know how do you feel about this? How do you feel Punk's reaction is going to be? Do you think he'll surprise us and it'll be more calm and neutral and, thankful in a way, but not hiding anything, Or do you think it will be explosive and will be pretty much a nuclear bomb dropped on AEW? Let me know down below in the comments or the live chat during the premiere. You will get a podcast version of this at BW Resist Discussions. And until then, I am out.